أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, it is a fortunate event today that the Postgraduate and Research Department of Arabic, the new college, in collaboration with Sullamussalaam College of Kerala, we are, Alhamdulillah, now presenting an important event to the students who are very much willing to clear UGC, NET, JRF, and SLET, and such other examinations. And more particularly, this program has been organized by our department with the Sullamussalaam College of Kerala to train the students who are very eager to clear the UGC paper to Arabic. In this regard, Alhamdulillah, we are now going to start this event with the recitation of few verses from Al-Quran Al-Majid by our second MA student, Mr. Narajuddin. Now I request Mr. Narajuddin to recite a few verses to initiate this program. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما النجوى من الشيطان ليحزن الذين آمنوا وليس بضارهم شيئا إلا بإذن الله وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قيل لكم تفسحوا في المجالس فافسحوا يفسح الله لكم وإذا قيل انشزوا فانشزوا يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والله بما تعملون خبير يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا ناجيتم الرسول فقدموا بين يدي نجواكم صدقة ذلك خير لكم وأطهر فإن لم تجدوا فإن الله غفور رحيم صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah, brother Maharajuddin. The postgraduate and research department of Arabic, the new college, the faculty members, students, and the college authorities, we all welcome each and every one of today's participants. We, the department and the faculty, are very much thankful to the authorities, our respected principal, Dr. S. Bashir Ahmad Saab, the vice principal, Dr. Sheikh Muhammad Saab, and Dr. V. Kamal Nasir Saab, the IQAC director, Dr. Anwar Sadat Saab, and on my own behalf, each and every faculty members, esteemed other dignitaries, and today's chief guest and resource person from the college, Sullamussalaam, Kerala, Dr. Abdulla Najeeb, and all other faculty members from the college, Sullamussalaam. I welcome all of you. It is a great and historic event today that we have already made an MOU with Sullamussalaam College in the regard of promoting Arabic studies and research in mutual interest and benefit of both these great institutions. Today, in this context, both the colleges mutually have arranged this program, enabling our research scholars and postgraduate students and all other aspirants to become qualified with efficiency and proper thorough knowledge, more particularly in the paper 2 Arabic prescribed under UGC, Dept and JRF, SLET, etc. I wholeheartedly welcome you all, and I more particularly welcome and thank our today's chief guest and resource person, Dr. Abdulla Najeeb of Sullamussalaam College. May Allah make all sort of good and noble benefits for all the participants and the resource person and both the colleges and the whole society and community. With these words, I conclude my introductory speech and welcome address. Let us pray for full and complete benefit out of today's program. Jazakumullah Hasan, Shukran. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Jazakumullah sir for your introductory and welcome address. Now I request Dr. Abdulla Najeeb sir from Assistant Professor of Arabic at Sullamussalaam Arabic College, Arekode, Kerala, to give his presentation on how to prepare UGC NET or JRF in Arabic, that is paper 2. I welcome you, sir. May I request you to give your presentation. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. Respected principal, new college, and the head of the department, Muhammad Ibrahim sir, coordinator Muhammad Tamim sir. First of all, I would like to express my thanks, gratitude to the Department of Arabic, PG and Research Department of Arabic, the new college Chennai, on behalf of our department, PG and Research Department of Arabic, Sullamussalaam Arabic College, Arekode, Kerala. I think this is our first program after when we were signed our MOU for the faculty and student exchanges and other programs. before 4-5 months ago. Today, we are discussing about the preparations of the UGC net, especially in our language, Arabic. Arabic, we know that in the last month, the PG and Research Department of New College organized a program in the paper 1 by the resource person, Mr. Abdurrahman. He was presented his presentation very well. And our department, when before 3 or 4 days back, I discussed with Mr. Tamim sir, Dr. Tamim sir, about our students also engaged with the program from the YouTube channel of the department. We were very thankful to you for the department for organizing such a program. Now we are entering to the paper 2. We know that for what we are studying, or for what we were preparing for the UGC examinations, what are the benefits and what the benefits we will get after acquiring net, and especially JRF, the scholarship amount is very high nowadays. Today, I think I'm going to discuss about the paper 2, an overall overview of paper 2 Arabic. In the last year, in 2018 last, the UGC updated the syllabus for the Arabic exam, not only the Arabic, but also all subject syllabuses are revised in 2018. Nowadays, there are 10 units in our subject in Arabic. All units are specified and very clearly mentioned in the syllabus. First unit is about the Arabic poetry up to Abbasid period. Only the unit is discussing about the poetry only from the pre-Islamic period to the Abbasid period. The unit defines the what are the meanings of the poetry in the pre-Islamic period. How was the poetry with the Arabs in the pre-Islamic period, and how is in the Islamic and after all in Umayyad and Abbasid period. This was the first unit discussing about the Arabic poetry. Then the unit defines first of all, the units discuss about the Aslul Lugha al-Arabiyya, the origins of Arabic language. This area was especially specific how the Arabic language developed from the the root of Samiya. We know that the Arabic language developed from the history defines that the sons of, or the generations of the Sam bin Nuh, they developed many kinds of language. The Arabic also developed and derived from the Sam to the many languages. And in this unit, there are the second area is al-mu'allaqat wa shu'ara'uha. We know that what is mu'allaqat. Some of the poets, they wrote their poems, especially the mu'allaqat. Mu'allaqat mean which tagged with the Kaaba. History defines like that. Some of the historians defines the, some other names, especially mufalliliyat, like that. In this unit, in the new syllabus, there are 4 poets are from the mu'allaqat. Some of the reporters reported that al-mu'allaqat bis-sab'i, it means 7 mu'allaqat poems from the mu'allaqat. And some of them are saying that 9, some of them are 11, like that. From the 4 poets should be studied for the net examination, or not only for the net, but also the competitive examination like SLAT or TED, like that. And in the Mu'allaqat wa Shu'ara'uha, Umrul Qais, first of all, Umrul Qais, wa Amr bin Kulsum, wa Zuhair bin Abi Sulma, wa Antarat bin Shaddad al-Abasi. These four points should be studied for the examination. And some of the other points also studied for the examination, because sometimes the question should be about the the roots of the poets. Then we know that the all poets from their root, their names, their fathers' names, how they lived, like that. The third area is Ash-Shu'ara as-Su'aliq. As-Su'aliq, yani we know that some of the poets, they are not staying in a same place. They are traveling from one side or one place to another place. In English language, the word is vagabond. Vagabond. Some of the في اللغة العربية وهم البدويون، يعني وهم يعيشون في البدو فقط. From this said, there are three poets: Ta'abbata, Sharan, Shamfar al-Azdi, wa Urwat bin al-Ward. Three poets should be studied for this first unit. Then the third one, fourth one, Ash-Shu'ara al-Mukhlaramun. Ash-Shu'ara al-Mukhlaramun, yani those who lived in the pre-Islamic and Islamic period. It means they embraced Islam and they lived as a Muslim, like that Hassan bin Sabit, wal Khansa bin Tumal, wa Ka'b bin Zuhair, wal Hutay'a. These four poets from the Shu'ara al-Mukhlaramun. Then Shu'ara al-Amawiyun. Ash-Shu'ara al-Amawiyun. After the Islamic period, after the Khulafa Rashidun, there are some kind of changes happen in the Islamic era. It means that place, some of the groups were derived from the Islamic faith. Then all groups were promoted the poets to write the poems against another groups. From this said, Umar bin Abi Rabi'ah, wa Jamil bin Ma'mar, wa Al-Akhtal, wal Farasdaq Jarir. We know that Akhtal, wa Farasdaq, wa Jarir. In Arabic literature, there is a terminology developed only for the Umayyad period. It is an-Naqa'il. An-Naqa'il means those who write the poem against some other persons. Al-Akhtal, wal-Farasdaq, wa Jarir, they are well known in the area of an-Naqila, an-Naqa'il. Then the next area is Shu'ara al-Asr al-Abbasid. This is the last area of the first unit. We just discussed about the pre-Islamic period and the roots of Arabic language, then the Mu'allaqat, then Mukhlaramun, like that. This is the last area from the first unit, Shu'ara al-Asr al-Abbasi. In the Al-Asr al-Abbasi, Abbasic period, it means it's known as golden age of Islamic era. It means the Abbasid rulers, they were highly promoted the education, especially the knowledge. Baitul Hikmah is the prime model example for the entire world, how to consider a knowledge, how to develop, how to promote knowledge. In this time, there are some poets, they were well known in Arabic literature, like Bashar bin Burd, wa Abu Nuwas, wa Abu Tamam, al-Bahturi, al-Mutanabbi, wa Ibn Rumi, wa Abul Ala al-Ma'idi. These 7 poets should be studied in the first unit. All the poets were highly talented. It means the poems of these poets were highly influenced in the literature and the language. This is the first unit which we just shared. What is the content of the first unit? Now I just took 2 examples of the questions from the last net examination, how the questions were coming from the units. The question is, I will discuss here, Anta ashja'un nasi wa ashadduhum. One person said to another, Anta ashja'un nasi wa ashadduhum. You are the most brave person and the most courageous, strengthened person. Faqal, then he replied, La, no. Then the person again, he is asking, Qal, he asked that, فَبِمَاذَا شَاءَ لَكَ ذَلِكَ? Why the people are just saying like that, أنت أشجع الناس وأشدهم. لماذا؟ ولكن أنت تقول الله. قال وإذا أجاب هذا الشخص كنت أقدم إذا رأيت الإقدام. كنت أقدم. I will take a step forward if it is possible. إذا رأيت الإقدام. If it is possible. وأحجم إذا رأيت الإحجام. I do not take any step if it is not possible. ولا أدخل موضعا لا أرى لي منه مخرجا. I do not enter to a place if there is no way to get out from that place. This is why some of them are saying that أنا أشجع الناس وأشدهم. وقيل في about whom this quote is just engaging with the people of literature. The answers from the options are Ta'abbat Sharat, Antarat bin Shaddad, Amr bin Kulsum, Umr al-Qais. Then we can understand from this question, we have to learn, we have to understand how the area should be studied for this examination. Then the answer is Antarat bin Shaddad. This is the answer about Antarat bin Shaddad. This quote was just engaging with the people. Then the second question is Adraka Jariran. Adraka. It means Jariran wa Hajaw. I just blame him. Haja means just write any poem against him. Waqala Hajawtu Jariran. Then he is saying that Hajawtu Jarir. I just blame the Jarir. Fastaghsarani. Istaghsarani. He just avoid me. He just take me as a silly thing. Wa'arala ala, and he just throw out me. He just left me, avoid me. Qalahu. Man qala hadha. It means we have to know about the lifestyle of all the poets from the pre-Islamic and Islamic and Umayyad and Abbasid period. The options are Bashar bin Burd, Al-Akhtar, Al-Farazdaq, Ibn Rumi. The answer is Bashar bin Burd. The answer is Bashar bin Burd. Bashar bin Burd is saying Adraka Jariran fahajahu walakin istaghsarani. Okay. Then we are just going to the second unit. Then we can understand that the first unit about only about the poets and the poem of the pre-Islamic and Islamic period up to Abbasid. Then the second unit, the unit 2, Arabic prose up to Abbasid period. An-Nasr al-Arabi hatta al-Asr al-Abbasi. Then Arabic prose the second unit discussing about the only for the Arabic prose, how the Arabic prose, not only from the poem, but also this unit especially only for the prose. Then first one is sir, yes, al-khutaba fil asr al-jahili. In the pre-Islamic era, we just shared or discussed about the poems of the pre-Islamic and the poets of the pre-Islamic age. Then there are some orators. They were just taking the oration to the people. Al-khutaba fil asr al-jahili. How is the oration developed from the pre-Islamic age? There are in the syllabus there are two orators. First one is Qus bin Sa'id al-Iyadi. He is the well-known orator of the pre-Islamic age. He just introduced the word amma ba'd wa kada. It means he just introduced many things for the speech and the style of the speech. Then the second one is Aksam bin Soifi at-Tamimi. That's the second orator from the pre-Islamic age. We have only two persons to be studied for the net exam or the syllabus. Then the second one, the most influential factor of the Arabic literature. Sir, the second one. Yes, Al-Quran al-Kareem wal-Hadith al-Nabawi wa ahmiyatuhuma al-adabiyya. The Holy Quran, the most influential, the base of the Arabic literature. From the Quran, all the sub-themes or the sub-knowledge are developed from the Quran al-Kareem. Then the Al-Hadith al-Sharif, from the Hadith also. I mean, the Quran and Hadith are the basis of the lifestyle of the Muslims. Not only the Arabs, but also not only the Muslims, but also the Arabs also from the basis of the Quran al-Kareem. For the development of the knowledge of the Quran, I mean to share the contents of the Holy Quran, all the sub themes like the ilm al-nahw, grammar, ilm al-balagha, rhetoric, ilm al-arul, I mean many of the knowledge were developed for the explanation of the Holy Quran. Then the second from the second unit, the next one is al-khutaba fil asr al-islami. I mean the oration or the orators of the Islamic age, and then Nabi sallallahu alayhi, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He is the first and the prime orator of the Islamic age. Then the Abu Bakr. It means the four Khalifas. They were the prime orators of the Islamic age. Ali bin Abi Talib, Ziyad bin Abihi, Al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf al-Saqafi, Tariq bin Ziyad. The four orators were influenced the entire Arabic literature by the Ali from the four Khalifas. The Ali radiallahu anhu was discussed more because of his the literary terms from his words or the speech. Then the third one, Al-Quran al-Kareem, Al-Khutaba, the third one from the Islamic age, Ar-Rasail. Some of the writers wrote the messages to others to convey, especially the rulers. They were transferred the mean the knowledge, not only the knowledge, but the informations by the letters. Like the theme is that Abdul Hamid al-Katib, the first one, Al-Jahil, Al-Qali, Al-Falil, Ibn al-Amid, Al-Sahib bin Ubad. These five writers influenced by their writings in the Arabic literature. Many of the writers, especially the Jahil, he has many books wrote in many themes, especially the Kitab al-Bukhala and al-Hayawan, Kitab al-Hayawan, like the animals, like that. In Abbasid age, there is another area which developed in the Abbasid period. Two of the writers were known only by this, this term al-Maqamat. Al-Maqamat, developed by only in the Abbasid period. Badi' al-Zaman al-Hamadani, Abu Muhammad al-Qasim bin Ali al-Hariri, Maqamat al-Hamadani wa Maqamat al-Hariri. We have to be studied about the Maqamat. Maqamat have many derivations, so not derivations, many chapters or many. Then we have to study how the Maqama should be, how the Maqama written by the Hariri and Hamadani. Then the next one, Al-Qisas wal-Hikayat. We know that it also developed by the period of the Umayyad and Abbasid period. Kalila wa Dimna, the first one is Kalila wa Dimna, then Alif Layla wa Layla. I am not discussing more about the Kalila wa Dimna wa Alif Layla wa Layla. There are two questions I have taken from the last examination. First one is Laysa min mu'allafati as-sahib ibn Ubad. This is the style of the questions from the net examination. Laysa min mu'allafati as-sahib ibn Ubad. Then we have to know all the books, all the writings of the writers from we were discussed many areas like the khutbah wal maqamat wal qissa wal ar-rasail, like that. The question is that Laysa min mu'allafati as-sahib ibn Ubad. First one is Al-Imama wa Siyasa, Kitab al-Muhit, Kitab al-Imala, Al-Kashf an Musawa al-Mutanabbi. The answer is Al-Imama wa Siyasa. Then the next question is Shi'ruhu kanathirihi. Shi'ruhu, his poem is like a prose. Fil kalfi bil badi', to occupy, to take the style of the badi'. Wal inaya bil lafli, and to select the words. Who wrote his poems like the prose? Al-Hariri, Badi' al-Zaman al-Hamadani, Al-Jahil, Al-Qali, Al-Fadih. The answer is clear on the options also, Al-Hariri. So we have to analyze, we have to understand the areas of the pre-Islamic up to Abbasid period in the style of prose and poetry. Then we are entering to the another area, unit 3, migrant and Andalusian literature, Adab al-Mahjar wal Adab al-Undulusi. Migrant and Andalusian literature. It means some of the writers were especially when the Abbasid period established in the Arabian Peninsula or Arabian area. One of the Umayyad Khalifa, Abdurrahman al-Dakhil, escaped from there and established Umayyad ruling, Umayyad era in Undulus. This is why the Undulusian literature also we were studying about the migrant literature. The second one is the Adab al-Mahjar. Adab al-Mahjar, some of the not only the poets, some of the literary people, they were traveled from their native place to another place to live in a success way, or to live in a better way. Al-Udaba al-Mahjar, one is Gibran Khalil Gibran, Ili Abu Malik, Nasib Arila, Rashid Ayyub, Mikhail Nuaima, Rashid Salim al-Khuri, Mishal Ma'luf, wa Ilyas Farhat. Then some another writers also then these these writers we have to be studied for the net examination, especially in the migrant literature. Then Al-Adab al-Undulusi. There were some kinds of literature, the Al-Muwashahat, Al-Azjal, Shi'r al-Tabi'a. Some of the writers equipped, they were developed Muwashahat, some kind of not only the poetry, but also with the mixing of the prose and poetry, Al-Muwashahat, Wal-Azjal, wa Shi'r al-Tabi'a, like that. Okay. Kibar al-Shu'ara wa Shawa'ir. Then this area is just explaining who were the main poets and poetess from the Undulus, from the migrant literature. First one is Ibn Darraj al-Qusti, Ibn Khafaja, Ibn Hani al-Undulusi, Ibn Zaydun, Wallada bint al-Mustakfi, Hamduna bint Zainab, wa Habsa bin Ziyad. These are the main poets from the area of Undulus. Then we have to understand what kind of poems they were wrote in their time. Then Kibaru A'lam al-Nasiri. First one we were discussed about the poetry. Now the second one is the prose. Ibn Hazm al-Undulusi, Ibn Tufail, Ibn Shahid, Ibn Abd Rabbihi. These are the main or major writers, especially in the prose. These are the main writers from the Undulusian literature. Then we are just taking 2 questions from this unit, the third unit. Adibun, the question is, Adibun Undulusiyan, Failasufun, Wulida Sana 506 للحجرة واستغل بالطب في غرناطة اسمه Adib Andalusian, an Andalusian literary person or philosopher and a philosopher. Wulida Sana 506. He born on 506 Hijriyan, and he engaged بالطب في غرناطة. Then we have to know who were, how they lived and what kind of the profession they have, like that. Then the option is Ibn Tufail, Ibn Baja, Ibn Abd Rabbihi, Ibn Ubada al-Qudzar. The answer is Ibn Tufail. This is the first one. Then we have to know all about Ibn Tufail. Then the second one from the migrant literature, Najeeb Arila, Hajra ila New York Sana. Najeeb Arila, one of the literary person, the poet from the migrant literature, Hajra ila New York, who just migrated to New York, Sana. The options are 1900 و 1905 1908 و 1911. The answer is 1905. Then we have to know all about the person which we are going to be studied. Then we are just entering to the fourth unit, literary criticism and prominent critics. النقد الأدبي. First one, literary criticism. Then وأعلامه. أعلام mean the prominent critics who were the critics in the time of the Abbasid. How was the critics in the pre-Islamic and the Islamic and after that. The first area is yes, النقد في العصر الجاهلي. The criticism in the pre-Islamic age. How the word developed in the An-Naqd, how the pre-Islamic persons criticized the literary works. This is the first one, An-Naqd fil Asr al-Islami. Then fil Asr al-Jahili. The second one, An-Naqd fil Asr al-Islami. The second time, how the word An-Naqd developed in the pre-Islamic and the Islamic age, and how the persons criticized the works, like that. Then An-Naqd fil Asr al-Abbasi. the second one, in the time of the Abbasid, many of the writers, or especially the critics, were developed their own strategy to take to write about the Jahili literature, the Jahili poetry, and the prose, and the Islamic prose and poetry like that. Then many of them wrote many books in the area of the criticism. The first one is Ibn Salam al-Jumhi. The second one, Ibn Qutayba al-Dainuri, wa Qudamat bin Ja'far, Ibn Rashiq al-Qayrwani, Abul Qasim Bashar al-Amidi, Abdul Qahir al-Jawjani. These are the 6 major critics in the time of the Abbasid period. Then the next one is An-Naqd fil Asr al-Hadith, or it means in the time. How is the criticism in the nowadays? Many of the critics we know, we all know about Toha Hussain, like that. Many of the writers wrote many books, and they developed their own strategies to analyze the analyze the literary works. The main critics are Hassan al-Marsofi, first one, Toha Hussain, second one, Abbas Mahmoud al-Aqad, Ahmad al-Sha'ib, Muhammad Mandur, Ghinami Ilal, Mikhail Nu'ayma, Shawqi Laif, Abdussalam al-Mazdi. These are the main critics in the time of in the modern times. They wrote, especially the Ahmad Sha'ib, also wrote many books in the area of the criticism, fi usul al-naqd or fi al-naqd al-adabi, like that. Then there are 2 questions I have collected from the last year net examination. رشحت كلية الآداب علوا بعصدها إلى السوريون وقضى فيها 9 سنوات، وهو رشحت كلية الآداب. كلية الآداب, I mean a team or a school, they nominated as a member one person, and they sent ila Suriyun, to the Suriyun, and he spent the 9 years. Wahwa, who is that? The options are Toha Hussain, Abdussalam al-Mazdi, Mahmud Mandur, Ghinami Hilal. Then I have to say something more about this question, because Toha Hussain and Abdussalam al-Mazdi were studied in Suriyun, but they are not studied more than 5 years there. Then we have to know how many years they were spent, or they were studied in that place. The question is very clear, that he spent 9 years in Suriyun. Then the Muhammad Mandur. Then the second question is Rattaba ibn Salam حسب جودة شعرائها فجعل في المقدمة. Rattaba ibn Salam al-Mudina. Ibn Salam just collected and ordered the cities, al-Mudin, the places, حسب جودة شعرائها, I mean as per the quality of the poets. فجعل المقدمة, and he take place in the first place, or in the prime concern. He gave the prime concern. He wrote in the first which place. The options are, sir, the options, first one is Makkah, second one is Al-Madinah, wa Ta'if, wa Abawa. Then we have to know what are the strategy, or what the writer concerned to take to write a book, or to order a book. The answer is Al-Madinah. Then the 5th unit, rhetoric and prosody, Ilm al-Balagha wal-Arud. We know about the Ilm al-Balagha wal-Arud as part of the literature, especially in the poems. First one, Ilm al-Balagha. Some questions. This unit, the 5th unit, just noticing how just giving the chance to study the ilm al-balagha wal-arud. The first one, there are two areas, al-fasaha wal-balagha. What's the meanings? What the definition of fasaha wal-balagha? Then the second one, ilm al-ma'ani, ilm al-ma'ani wa ilm al-badi' wa ilm al-bayan. Also, we are just discussing in this unit. I am not elaborating this all here because we have the time concerns. Then ilm al-arud. We know that there are 16 bahar in the ilm al-arud, but here there are only 4 bahar. Only mean we have to be studied for the net examination. First one al-bahr al-tawil, second one al-bahr al-kamil, al-bahr al-khafif, الرابع البحر البسيط. The fourth one is البحر البسيط. There is a question I just collected from the last year examination. أبيات شعرك كالقصور ولا قصور بها يعوق ومن العجائب لفظها حر ومعناها رقيق. The question is في الشعر الثاني كلمتان حر ورقيق wahuma. First one, jinas tam. What's the meaning of the hur wa raqiq? There is some different meaning in that lane. Jinas tam wa jinas ghayru tam wa tawriya wa tibab. Then the answer is at-tawriya because there is some another meanings in that question. Then the second one, lil mukhatabi halatun. This question also from the balagha. للمخاطب حالات 4 3 5 6. The answer is ثلاثة. Then we have to know about the different kinds of the balagha. Then we are just entering to the 6th unit, important Arabic sources and references. أهم المصادر والمراجع العربية. There are some books which they are discussing how they were collected the data from the literature to these books. أهم المصادر والمراجع العربية كتاب الأغاني لأبي الفرج الأصفهاني، البيان والتبيين للجاهل، مقدمة ابن خلدون، العقد الفريد لابن عبد ربه، الكامل للمبرد، الفهرست لابن النديم، معجم الأدباء لياقوت الحموي، then الخصائص لابن جني، المزهر للسيوطي، كشف الظنون لحاجي خليفة، مروج الزحب للمسعودي، وفيات الأعيان لابن خليكان، فتوح البلدان للبلادري، والآمال للقالي، وفجر الإسلام وضحى الإسلام وظهر الإسلام لأحمد أمين. These are the books to be studied for the net or JRF examination. I have collected 2 questions from this unit also. إنه رتب في كتابه العلامة. He ordered in his books the persons على أسماء أصحابها وإن لم يشتهروا بها, with their names, and they were not known as their names. كما فعل أكثر أصحاب المعاجم. Many of the writers or the writers التاريخي, I mean history writers, did not do that. وهذا الكتاب هو, who wrote the book with the order of their the names of the that authors. المزهر للسيوطي، كشف الظنون لحاجي خليفة، وفيات الأعيان لابن خليكان، ومقدمة ابن خلدون. Then we have to know all about these books. I mean which time and what is the criteria they have and what are the units like that. The answer is وفيات الأعيان لابن خليكان. And the second one, كتاب الآمالي, the Amali. هو من تأليف أبو علي القالي. From our unit الآمالي للقالي, we have to be studied for the examination. كتاب الآمالي. Then the question is ألفه وهو فيه. From which place he have wrote his book? Al-Amali, Al-Qahira, Al-Ghurnato, Al-Qurtuba, Dimashq. Then the answer is Qurtuba. He wrote the book Al-Amali from Qurtuba. Then the seventh unit, the largest units from our syllabus, seventh unit, modern Arabic literature, Al-Adab al-Arabi al-Hadith. Many of the writers, they were wrote in these times. There are many classifications and many subjects are there. First to one, Ash-Shi'r. We know that many of the like the Mahmud Sami al-Barudi, Ahmad Shawqi, Hafiz Bik Ibrahim, Ma'ruf al-Rasafi, they all have the nickname or the second name, Nazik al-Malaika, Umar Abu Risha, Nizar Qabbani, Abdullah al-Barduni, Fadwa Tawqan, Mahmud Dawish, Ali Ahmad Sa'id, Udunis. I mean, there are more than thousands of writers. I mean, they wrote their poems, but we have only some writers to be studied for the net examination. We have only 10 or 12 poets here. Then the second one, An-Nasr al-Maqala. The first one, Al-Maqala, some kind of the essays. Al-Maqala means essays in these times. First one, Rafi' al-Tuhtawi. Second one, Muhammad Abdu. We have to be studied the writings, so the essays of Tuhtawi wa Muhammad Abdu. Then the third one, Al-Qissa al-Qasira. Al-Qissa al-Qasira which developed in the modern age. We have to know, we don't have any information about the Qissa Qasira short stories in the time of pre-Islamic and Islamic and the Umayyad and Abbasid period also. This terminology, Qissa Qasira, developed from the modern age. The first one, Mustafa Lutfi al-Manfaluti, Mahmud Taimur, Ihsan Abdul Qudus, Yahya Haqi, Yusuf Idris, Zakaria Tamir. Then we have to study all about the writers of the, not only the short story, but also the essays and the poets and the novelists like that. Then a riwayah. We just mentioned there are thousands of novelists are there, but we have to be studied here only 10 or 12 writers. George Zaidan, Hussein Haikal, Najeeb Mahfouz, Abdul Hamid Jawda Sahar, Abdul Rahman Munif, Ghazi Al-Qusaybi. Then Hanna Mina, Ahlam Mustaghanmi, Ibrahim Al-Kuni, Abdul Karim Ghullab, Najeeb Al-Kilani, Layla Al-Usman. We have only 12 novelists here in this unit, but there are thousands of, hundreds of thousands of writers in all areas. Then Al-Masrahiyya. Masrahiyya also developed in the modern age. We in the Arabic literature, there is no drama in the time of pre-Islamic, Islamic up to modern age. Omarun Naqash, Tawfiq al-Hakim, Aziz Abdullah, Ali Ahmad Baqir, Sa'adullah Wannus. These 5 drama writers, playwrights we have to be studied. The 2 questions I have collected from this unit. First one, Abdul Karim al-Ghallab. First one is that Abdul Karim al-Ghallab darasabi. Where is the Abdul Karim al-Ghallab studied? First one, Al-Qazwin, Qazwin, Al-Qahira, Al-Hams, Baghdad. The answer is Qazwin. Yes, sir. Qazwin. Then we have to know, then we already talked about that. We have to know where they were studied and what kind of knowledge they have and which kind of the books they have, how many books like that. The second one, Siyasiyin wa Sahafiyin Misriyin, and the politician and the journalist, an Egyptian journalist. Tawalla Wizarat al-Ma'arif, he took the charge of the education minister Idda Marad many times. Lahu Hayat Muhammad, his book is Hayat Muhammad. Muhammad Hussein Haikal, Ahmad Hussein Haikal, And the answer is Muhammad Hussein Haikal. Then we are just moving to the 8th unit, Al-Itijahat wal-Harakat wal-Madaris al-Adabiyya. This is a small unit. We have only some kinds of trends and movements and the schools have. The areas are الكلاسيكية الجديدة، تيار المحافظين يعني التقليدية، الرومانسية رومانتيسيزم، الواقعية، الرمزية، الشعر الحر، الشعر التفعيلية، مدرسة الديوان، جماعة أبولو، الرابطة القلمية، العصبة الأندلسية. These are the major trends. The first one, first 5 of the unit, they are the trends, and the last 4, the schools of the different thoughts. مدرسة الديوان, جماعة أبولو, الرابطة القلمية. Some of the migrant people, they have gathered and established, they started a new school or new trend in Arabic literature. That's the Madras Diwan, وجماعة أبولو, الرابطة القلمية, العصبة الأندلسية. Then the 2 questions are: أصبحت الرابطة القلمية حقيقة واقعة عام. In which year the Rabita Qalamiya is really established? In 1921, 1922, 1920, and 1925. The answer is 1920. And the second one is Jama'atun Adabiyatun, أسست في سنة 1932 ميلاديا في المهجر الجنوبي, in the southern area of the America. Which group is established there? Which literary group is established in the southern area? الرابطة القلمية, جماعة الأمناء, جماعة الفن والحرية, العصبة الأندلسية. The answer is العصبة الأندلسية. Then we have to know were the groups and who were the leaders of the groups, Rabita al-Qalamiyya, Jama'at Apollo, like that. Then we are going to conclude our area by the 9th and 10th unit about the Indo-Arabic literature, the writers of the Arabic writers from India, Al-Adab, Al-Arabi, Al-Hindi, A'lam al-Nasr. First one is some of the writers: Shah Waliullah al-Dahlawi, Nawab Siddiq Hasan Khan, Abdul Hayy al-Hassani, وحميد الدين الفراهي, عبد العزيز الميمني, Abu al-Hassan Ali al-Hassan al-Nadwi, Abu Mahfouz Karim al-Ma'sumi. These are the 7 mean the lot of writers. We know that many of the writers in these days also, they were writing in Arabic in India. Then the second one, A'lam al-Shi'r, those who wrote the poems, the poets of the Indian poets in Arabic literature: Fail al-Haq al-Khairabadi, Fail al-Hasan al-Saharanfuri, Anwar Shah al-Kashmiri, Muhammad Nazim al-Nadwi, Umar Qali al-Balankuti, Abdul Qadir al-Fadufari. These are the major or main poets from India in Arabic literature. Then Aham al-Mu'allafat al-Hindiya, major writings from India, or major books of Indian books in Arabic literature. First one, Hujjatullah al-Baligha li Shah Waliullah Dahlawi. Then from this unit, we have to know that we have to be studied the Hujjatullah al-Baligha, about that book, and also the author, Shah Waliullah Dahlawi, how he studied and how he started his writings, books, and what kind of the books he have, like that. Then Taj al-Arus li Zubaydri al-Balghrami. Then Sabahat al-Marjan fi Athar al-Hindustan li Ghulam Ali Azad al-Balghrami, Abjad al-Ulum lil Qanuji, Tuhfat al-Mujahidin li Ahmad Zainuddin al-Malaybari, Kashaf Mustalahat al-Funun wal-Ulum li Muhammad Ali al-Tahanwi, الثقافة الإسلامية في الهند لعبد الحي الحسني، الإعلام بمن في الهند من الأعلام، نزهة الخواطر وبهجة المسامع والنواظر. Then رجال الهند والسند للقاضي الظهر المبارك فوري. Then the last one, ماذا خسر العالم بانحطاط المسلمين لأبي الحسن الندوي. These are the main books. Then the questions are: مفكر ومصلح إسلامي. The Islamic reformer Hindi, from India, lahu mustawa fi sharh al-muwatta. He have the writing of book mustawa fi sharh al-muwatta. Who is the writer? The options are in the question: Abdul Hayy al-Hassani, Abdul Aziz al-Maymani, Shah Waliullah al-Dahlawi, Anwar Shah al-Kashmiri. Then the answer is Shah Waliullah al-Dahlawi. Then the question is Laysa min a'mali Siddiq Nawab Siddiq Hasan Khan. Then we know that the all books of Siddiq Hasan Khan. Then we can finalize this is not from his writings like that. The options are Fathul Bayan, Aun al-Bari, Ma'arif al-Awarif, Misk al-Khitab. These are the options. The answer is Ma'arif al-Awarif. Then the last area, especially in the not from the literature, from the Arabic terminology and the translation. Arabic English, Arabic translation, language application, and general knowledge. الترجمة العربية الإنجليزية العربية والتطبيقات اللغوية والمعلومات العامة. The first one, الترجمة. There are three area in this unit. First one is الترجمة مصطلحات سياسية عامة. Then we have to know what are the new terminologies in the area of politics. The second one is مصطلحات اقتصادية. What are the new terminologies in the area of the economics also. Then the second one, التطبيقات اللغوية, language applications. تعبيرات عربية, Arabic mean expressions شائعة في الصحف والجرائد, which been well known in the papers and the journals. تطبيقات نحوية, I mean grammatical applications. استخدام الصلات, and the mean the connections of the words, not only the words but also the terminologies. The last one, المعلومات العامة عن العالم العربي. المعلومات, just the general knowledge from the areas. Sometimes the questions were I have noticed that before. I have noticed that sometimes asked the capitals of the Arabian countries and which times some of the some questions are about the rulers like that. The question is from this unit. First question is istismar. The word is istismar. Usawi bil Injiliziya fil ma'na. What is the meaning of istismar in English? First one, investment, enforcement, improvement, and allotment. What is the word? Then we have to know all about the other, the other options. What the Arabic words of other option? What is enforcement and improvement, allotment? Then the answer is investment. Then the second question is Ansha Abdul Masih Haddad. Abdul Masih Haddad started 1912 in 1902 Al-Jarida newspaper. What is the name of the newspaper? Asai Kawkab America Mir'atul Gharb Al-Muhajir. The answer is Asai. Then this is the I just discussed or shared here the outline for the UGC net examination. How is the question? How is the syllabus like that? Then I have got here the major reference books. From which books we can collect the data more to be good for the syllabus. First one, Tarikh al-Adab al-Arabi li Ahmad Hassan al-Zayyat, Tarikh Adab al-Lugha al-Arabiyya 4 أجزاء لجورج زيدان, وتاريخ الأدب العربي لعمر فاروق, وتاريخ الأدب العربي لشوقي ضيف, last الجامع في الأدب العربي لحنا الفاهوري. All the books are available there in the online platform. Then I have just collected some guides which were but I think all the guides were prepared before the the revise of the syllabus. They were prepared. Many of the books, some books have more than 2000, 3000 model questions are there also. The books are available in the market. If you are connecting to me, I will give you the phone number and the details of the books. First one, Tarikhul Arabiya wa Adabuha, Muhammad al-Faruqi wa Muhammad Ismail al-Mujaddidi. They were wrote with a small description and also with the question pattern. The second one, Khazanatul Arabiya wa Ulumuha. This book is, they were wrote with the pattern of the model questions. I mean, more than 2000 questions are there in this book. Muhammad al-Faruqi wa Muhammad Ismail al-Mujaddidi. Then Mulaqas al-Adab al-Arabi. It is a new book written by Dr. Muhammad Aslam al-Wafi and Dr. Muhammad Nishad Ali al-Wafi. They are working in as assistant professor from in the colleges of Jamal Muhammad Trichy. Nishad Ali Wafi is now working as assistant professor in Jamal Muhammad College, and Aslam Wafi is also working in KTM College of Advanced Studies. Then the fourth one, Lamhatun min Tarikh al-Adab al-Arabi. Abul Kalam. It is a nickname and it published Rosewood Publications, New Delhi, Al-Hind. Then the fifth one, Tarikh al-Adab al-Arabi, Su'alan wa Jawaban. Dr. Muhammad Mahdi Hassan, written by Muhammad Mahdi Hassan. This book also prepared by the questions and the previous questions also. Then Al-Madkhal ila al-Adab al-Arabi, الدليل للاختصار التنافسي from Dr. Shiaz bin Abdullah al-Salahi. Then the last one, جدارة الدليل العربي للاختبارات التنافسية, written by Junaif, the assistant professor of DUA College, Arekode. Then I would like to conclude my words. I feel I feel to express my gratitude to the Department of Arabic, the new college, for inviting me to talk with you for a few words and to give an outline about the UGC net syllabus. Inshallah, next time we have to end to all areas of the UGC net syllabus. In our college here, we are just taking the classes as offline, especially in the net JRF area. Last 2 times, 6 persons, total 12 persons were qualified net. 2 of them are qualified JRF also. Inshallah, nowadays we are focusing on more in the result also. Okay, thank you, the entire team. Tamim sir, and also Wakhru Da'wana and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Jazakumullah khairan Ustad for your presentation. Barakallah feekum. Mashallah, has Dr. Abdulla Najeeb has given the total overview of paper 2. Mashallah, barakallah. Now I'd like to propose word of thanks for this program. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalatu wassalam ala Rasulil Kareem. Amma ba'd. First of all, we thank Almighty Allah for giving this opportunity to organize this program in this platform. And then I thank the principal sir and 2 vice principals and my beloved HOD sir, Dr. Hamid Ibn sir, for this program, for organizing this, for giving this opportunity and giving the consent to initiate this program. Then I would like to thank today's resource person, Dr. Abdulla Najeeb, from Sullamussalaam Arekode College, with whom we have a MOU started from July last year. Mashallah, we have got an opportunity to organize this program through this media. Dr. Abdulla Najeeb has given the overview of the paper 2 from taking the notes from unit number 1 till unit 10, and he has also given some of the questions mentioned in the last UGC unit paper. and he has enlightened us with his knowledge. Hopefully, our students will get benefit, inshallah, through this through his lecture. And also, we are planning to have some other programs and focusing on the unit wise. Paper one, I mean, unit 1 till unit 10. Inshallah, we'll be having other programs with the Sullamussalaam college. Inshallah, we will organize. Inshallah, hopefully,
Inshallah.
in next month, inshallah, we'll have a plan, and then to have a program till we complete the
Sure, sir.
inshallah.
Inshallah.
And also I thank to all my learned colleagues from the Department of Arabic for their encouragement and their support, and also I thank my students who have participated in this program actively. Jazakumullah khairan. Wa khidwana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Please, Waalaikumsalam.